Hi, and welcome to another helpful tutorial video from Ship Our Wedding, where we help you easily and affordably plan gorgeous DIY events. Today we'll show you how simple it is to set up a round ceremony canopy chuppah. This is very similar to our square ceremony canopy chuppah, except that it is round. Also, it is a lot smaller too. The ceremony canopy chuppah is great for backdrops area that you would like to bring more attention to, and because it's small, you can work this into almost any space. Traditionally, draping will be used behind a head table. But what if you have a sweetheart table or using a smaller, more intimate ceremony? Because this round design is roughly 5 feet long, you could fit it around a cake, at your altar, or around a sweetheart table. Even if you take your cake, put your cake into the corner of the room, on a small table, this can go around it. You can use this on a stage, during the ceremony, and then later work it into your sweetheart table. This way you have a gorgeous place to take your photos. A round ceremony canopy chuppah is 5 feet in diameter, but in put in perspective to the pillar draping, that's going to be smaller, roughly 3 feet in diameter. So if you have larger pillars, this can also be used to cover pillars.
Before we go DIY, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Not on our website yet? Click the link in the video description for more rental info.
When you're doing draping, you really need to think about your photographer and how the draping is going to look in your photos. For example, when you take the fabric and bunch it together on the side, when you attach it with either a zip tie or a pipe cleaner, you can also put a floral arrangement in the front of it. We only recommend using the silk flowers, this way you don't have to worry about any water dripping and discoloring the fabric. On top of putting floral arrangements on both sides, you can also put up lighting on the structure itself to make it glow in the color of your choice. So let's see how beautiful this looks by setting up a round ceremony canopy chuppah. This is a base plate. There's a beveled middle hole the screw goes into. The screw is in the ferrule and has a beveled edge. The screw will fit into the middle hole flat, and while holding with your finger, hand tighten the ferrule into the screw. We'll only use the center hole during assembly. If it is hard to remove the ferrule, use a hammer and gently tap on both sides. Next, hold the back with your finger and then remove. End of your event, put the screw back into the ferrule so it doesn't end up missing. Lay your 4 assembled base plates on the ground. Next, slide your uprights over the center base plate ferrule. If it is a tight fit, only force out of the ferrule 50% and not all the way down. Afterwards, grab your curved crossbars and click it into your uprights. Your setup should look like this so far. Throw 2 pieces of fabric over each crossbar opening, using 8 total pieces of fabric, with even amounts on both sides. Then pleat all fabric. Next, make sure your 2 inner pieces of fabric are centered and overlapped. Then use a zip tie to keep them from moving. Do this for all overlapping fabric on the center crossbar. Repeat this step for the inner piece of fabric on multiple crossbars. Next, raise up your upright in increments going back and forth between uprights to the desired height. Do not raise past the sticker. Always leave a small gap between your upright and ceiling, because you will have to raise the upright slightly by pushing up on the movable metal piece. After all your uprights are raised, gently lift all fabric pieces to untwist and lower to the side of the crossbar. Then swag both outer left and right pieces of fabric towards the upright by using a cording motion with your hand, and finish by attaching both pieces of fabric to an upright with a zip tie. Here's a close-up of how to attach both swagged fabric pieces to an upright. You will do this step 4 times. Finalize the fabric pleats and tuff the bottom. You will do this step 4 times. Here's a close-up of how you tuff and roll the 4 bottom pieces. To give you an idea of the size of the 5-foot diameter, here's a person walking through the round chuppah. This is how your round ceremony chuppah should look. Finish with uplighting in the color of your choice. Let's look at some photos of recent events that have used this rental in action. Browse Ship Our Wedding, more DIY tutorial videos, and get started by checking your dates availability. Together, let's help you plan the event you deserve.
Now that you know how to set up our round ceremony chuppah, watch more videos above. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in our next video.